That's been the focus of my life.
You're getting your haircut is to me is a chili cheese burrito. Hey everybody, happy Monday. It is Monday. Yes, it is because last week it was Tuesday because it Monday. The day of the week. I had that conversation with my Pam earlier today. I was like, I have no idea because Pam's on school now, so it's really messed up. She's not working, you know.
I don't know what day it is. I don't know any of it.
So we'll get everybody in here. Let us know you're here. We're going to answer your listener questions. So we need current questions, and Pam has some information she's going to share.
Some,
not all. If you have it all, let me know because I don't know.
I know, right?
If you think I have all the answers,
I hope that somebody has all the answers.
I know, seriously.
I think that my fear is that nobody has all the answers.
I guarantee you nobody has all the answers because this stuff's getting made up as we roll. I tell you right now, they're like, okay, we're down to 3 options.
Did you see though that Universal, the team was in there today? They were doing a great job showing everything. Hagrid's was down to 5 minutes. How about that?
Dude.
It was a good opening for them. I'm glad to see it really and truly. So,
it'd be good to see somebody riding a roller coaster or like a water ride and just smiling and just like, oh.
Yes. That was what I mean. They were on, there were some pictures of Hagrid's taken. Universal has been working during this time. They show some progress on the Jurassic Park coaster that's going in. They redid that raptor encounter. Have you seen the videos and pictures of that raptor encounter? You go up there and the raptor sort of comes behind you. It's so very cool. It's actually one of my favorite meet and greets. So anyways, I was glad to see.
That's perfect for Ricky.
I wonder if she's done it. I wonder if she has, because you roll up there with your family and you stand there, and the whole story is that the raptor's coming, like behind.
I've seen it. It's in their commercial, I think.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's like Ricky's worst nightmare. I doubt she's done that. She'd be.
It is so fun, though.
Here yet. She'll be here for the second show.
It really is so fun. So yeah, it's good to see like things getting back to a normal, a new normal, a different normal, but more of a normal. Like we get to actually go and do stuff. So
I know I miss normal, and I wouldn't have said that.
I know, right?
At all.
Who would have ever thought?
No kidding. The casino's open here today. You should have seen the line. Dude, everybody's getting their little temperature boop, 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 kind of thing to get in to go gamble. Lose all your money. If you're like me, I can't. I like we've had a couple parties for like Pam's family of kids, but family members that turn 21, so they go to the casinos. We all go with them. I get my $20 out of the ATM. I go to a slot machine. I lose and I'm done. But the thing is, a couple times I've hit for like $5. Like I'm like, ooh, dude, 20. I cash out. I'm like, it's $5 free. I do not keep playing. I'm so bad at I can't gamble. I guess because I grew up Baptist. You can't.
That's too funny.
On my shoulder when I go there, God knows I'm going to lose just to teach me a lesson. Because I'm not supposed to be in that casino. I'm intrigued by them. Like they're so like loud and all the lights. I love like being in a casino. Like it's just like it's so weird, but I can't gamble.
Steve can't stand it. Like he can't even stand to lose $1. Like seriously, truly, he can't.
And I don't even know how to play like the card games, so I just go to a slot machine. I like watching people play craps though from like upstairs. Like you can look down on it looks so like Rain Man or something, but I don't know how to play, so I can't. I want to get those die, but I wouldn't know if I win or lose. And one time I was in Vegas one time with somebody, and I went to play roulette and I touched the chips and I got in big trouble. I didn't know you weren't supposed to touch them. Like I just grabbed something. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Slot machines.
No.
I'm like, dude, I'm from Missouri. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like 25. Okay. So yeah, we have questions in the chats. We'll answer Anna's here. If you have any other questions, please put them in the chat because we are going to need those for the first show. I have one here in the inbox too. All right.
Yes, so, we do want the questions, and we will take questions on some of the changes too. I'm not going to say we have all the answers, but we'll take some questions on.
Yes, if you have questions about any of the current stuff, that would be great
And Bethany, I'm very jealous. She just got in the pedicure chair. Everyone will be glad to hear this because look at how long my hair is. I got the first appointment when my salon opens up on the first day, 9 a.m. on Friday.
I'm down to 9 toenails. I lost one.
Yeah. I guess I have a little clout somewhere at my hairdresser.
But right? I mean, you're the guinea pig.
I'll be in there by myself probably.
Yeah, because your hairdresser lost his or her touch over the. Like, are they rusty? Or they
Hopefully not.
Just kidding. All right, let's see here. Okay, so this is 60, and we'll talk about the Patreon thing because so many people in here are more than kind, but we'll address that here at the top of the show too. All right, let's see. I don't even know what the address is for the Patreon thing. Let me look real quick. Hang on real quick before I do this. What happened? It's spinning. It's spinning. Yay, it is. Okay, it works. Okay. I laughed so much last night. I had Mike Bankhead on. We did a lizard show. That was so much fun.
Oh my gosh, too funny.
Oh man. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1685 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope the show finds you safe and well in this crazy little world of ours, which is slowly inching back to normal in certain places. We're being able to go out and get some food in some places, and Pam's really excited about something she gets to do here very soon. So we're gonna have a good time answering your listener questions. Thanks so much to everybody who has joined us here in the live chat. And I just mentioned Ricky's going to be here on Friday, but she's in an emergency meeting at this point, but she'll be here for the Friday show. So joining me today, we have Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Pam, you are so excited to get out of the house and get that hair did.
I know. So in Pennsylvania here, our hair salons get to open up on Friday. I get to be at the hair salon that I go to on Friday at 9 a.m. I am the first appointment. So I don't know what that means. I guess I have clout in the hair salon there that they're like, we're calling Pam Forrester and bringing her in first. So anyways, I am so incredibly excited. They said that there are a few procedures that look different. And I said, I don't care. I need my haircut. I was actually overdue to go in right when this all started. So anyways.
Hold off next time. You'd be like, nope.
Oh, right. It's so true.
Yeah, totally.
So true. So anyways, I'm excited about that though. I guess it's the little things, right? If anything, now I find myself getting excited about small things. I mean, we've talked about this, like a ride in the car, a haircut, going to the grocery store. I mean, all things that I wasn't necessarily excited about before. And now I have a new appreciation for these things, I will say.
I still haven't been into Target or a grocery store since this all started. We did yesterday. There's a little family owned barbecue place right across. It's in Cottleville, which is across from where we live. And we went and got barbecue and sat outside the picnic table.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was weird. That's the first time we'd eaten out since March. Crazy. I mean, we used to do that all the time. All right, so let us get to the listener question. Before that, though, actually, I want to address something, and I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone. If you might have noticed earlier this week on Monday, I created a Patreon for the show, and this is something that I've been kind of wrestling with over the past 2 to 3 years because a lot of folks have asked privately through emails and so forth, ways to support the show. And I always say, if you want to support the show, the biggest thing you can do is share that you listen to the show, write a review, because I always want to make this show free and never exclusionary, never where you have to do this to hear this show, this to hear that show, and kind of stuff like that. But as you know, times are a little challenging in the travel industry right now, and I like doing what I do. I love planning vacations for guests. It has been a blessing to get to do this full time for the last 3 years and to do it for 10 years now, combined with my teaching. And I don't want to give that up. And the biggest thing too with the podcast is, we've been doing this for over 12 years, and it is, I mean, it's like my baby. It's something that I love. I've met so many friends, my best friends from all over the world. We get to share, holidays, vacations, challenges, everything. We get to share our lives together, and it's because of this show. And this show is not going to go away, but it does have costs and so forth. So right now, just to kind of get through this little hump, this is a temporary thing, I'm sure, because I'm itching to travel. Pam's itching to travel. We're all itching to travel. I know everything's going to bounce back, but I know it could take just a little bit of time till everybody kind of settles in and we kind of reset everything to get back to where we were. But I put this out there. It's that Patreon, which is a way just to support the shows. But I want you to know the way I'm doing this is that the last thing I want to do is, if you're in a tough situation where you have job insecurity right now and things like that, because I get it, that's where, things are a lot different for me as well. So I don't want to make it where, okay, so you're down right now, you're not going to get to hear all the shows. That is never going to happen. All the shows will always be available. But if you want to support the show, you can go over to patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. $5 a month helps a ton. I mean, it really will with our listeners. Some folks have put up $10 a month. That is incredibly kind. I just want to thank you. And we're going to get shout outs to everybody who has already subscribed to the Patreon. It's an incredible list of over 100 folks, and I haven't even talked about it on the show yet. So if you want to do that, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. It would sure be appreciated. We're going to get everybody announced here on the show. I'm going to thank you each personally, but right now the list would take us from here till Friday. So we're going to kind of let things settle in. My inbox has exploded, and it's out of the kindness of your hearts. It's been incredible. I set the thing up, posted it on Facebook, went and made a turkey sandwich, and went back to my inbox, and I thought, something happened at Disney, because I saw how many new emails I had, and I was like, oh no. But it was because of your kindness. So I just want you to know that if you came by and did the Patreon pledge, I appreciate you so very much. If you haven't, it's fine. I get it. We're all in different places. Some folks right now, and I'm there, it's just not the time. You just can't fork it out. And I totally get it. And you're not going to miss any shows. I love all of you guys. I love just the fact that we can get together. We talked on the Lizards this weekend with Mike and just shared memories. That's always going to be what this is about. But thank you to those who are able, who can help for this minor temporary time. We're going to get through this, but your kindness is never lost on me. So
well, I just want to say too, I mean, you all have seen how Mike's been hustling, doing the shows and stuff like that. And we talk about it at the agency, that this is the time that as an agency, we're all going to need to hustle in a different way. I mean, we've all kind of had successful businesses up until this point, and Mike has been a great example of that. And I know that he loves working with all of you people. So, without Mike, there would be no podcast, and he definitely deserves that from this point. So, your support in this space, I think, really rewards people who are doing good stuff. So
I appreciate that. Because the thing is, I'm like living my dream doing this full-time travel. And the thing, right now there's not a lot of income because folks have to travel, and it's by no fault of anybody. It's not my guests that aren't supporting me. I guess they're supporting me. We're pushing trips out so that my guests are not abandoning me. That's, man, that, like, our guests are so loyal, and the thing is, yes, I just don't want to have to make some kind of 180 switch. That's a temporary thing that could have permanent ramifications. I want to do what I do. We're just going to get through this in some kind of a creative way, and I'm going to make it worth your while. I promise you that. We'll figure it out, because I hated writing that. I hated starting this whole thing, but times are tough, and I would pick up a buddy if I could right now. So I just thank you guys so much. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that, but I just want to send a huge thank you. And if you can help, again, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Sure, appreciate it. All right, we got so many questions in the chat. We're going to jump right to the first one because they scroll away too. You guys have so many comments. Sometimes I can't keep up. So,
I know, right?
Let's see. Anna had the first one. I'm going to try to go in order here. She says, I have a trip booked for the week after Christmas, and we'll be spending New Year's Eve at Epcot. Hopefully, any tips? So we have our normal tips for Epcot's a great place to be on New Year's Eve.
Agreed.
Dude, it's a party, but I just don't know what a party is going to look like in this. We don't know what social distancing will look like in December. I mean, I just can't, dude. New Year's Eve at Epcot is so much fun, but it is if you look up social distancing in the dictionary, in any a non-example that teachers use that term, not example, they would say Mike in China with the fiery dragon and
I know, right?
like, because everybody's on top of each other. I don't know. I mean, other than that, just go and have fun and just follow the rules.
Well, I know. And I think that's the thing. Like, people, I've heard some concerned people who are like, oh my gosh, we have to wear, like, right now we have to wear a mask and we have to do this and we have to do that. Yes, that's what's happening right now. And you have to understand that Disney has to follow not only the rule of safety for their guests that they set up as a company tenant, but also the rules of local and state and federal guidelines in terms of that. And Disney's just trying to find ways to open. Do I think it will look like this forever? No, I don't. Our world won't look like this forever. We won't be wearing masks for the rest of our lives. But what will have to happen to stop that? I don't know. I really, truly don't know. But I will also say I agree with Mike that Epcot is a great place to be on New Year's Eve. The fireworks are incredible. All the different things to do in the countries, and that's the best thing about traveling when there is some kind of celebration, be it an extra event at Epcot or a holiday that we're celebrating. Disney celebrates like no one else out there. They make it the place to be, to want to be. So just, go and enjoy. But yeah, you won't want to miss the fireworks. They have been having two of them, one in the earlier evening and then one at midnight. Right. And they're incredible. They're both incredible fireworks shows. One of the things that you may want to do is make sure that you schedule a dinner in Epcot at some point during the
want to have an ADR because, man, that one year we didn't. I remember I waited like 90 minutes to get Chinese food in China, just like the walk up, and I was like a survivor, dude. I was just glad to have some white rice, man. I was so hungry because I didn't. Ever since, we've always eaten at Chefs de France because it was an easy to get ADR. Like
that was it. Yeah, absolutely. So just plan on that, and I think we will at some point see the whole ADR system work out to be, but like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm thinking like 60 days for ADRs may not be a bad thing.
Yeah, amen. Yes. Keep it 60. We need a hashtag.
So anyways, but yeah, go and enjoy. I'm jealous. You'll have a great time.
All right, we're going to roll through these as quick as we can here. Daniel had a question. What do you think will happen with the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party on August 13th? So we do know that they said, and this shocked me, really, honestly. Like, they were coming out with all these, that like 48 hours there last week, like, had me shook, as the kids say.
I know.
Real shook. But then, like, all of a sudden, yes, we are having Halloween parties. I'm like, you kidding me? Like, that's one thing I thought, like, extra magic hours are gone, dining plans are gone. You're saying you're keeping them. But when they said that, I thought, wow, how are they going to do that? What do you think is going to happen? I think so. We don't know. Like, Pam, do you know if they told you anything about the parties?
No.
So here's what I'm thinking. This might be the one place, and I'm just speculating as I'm just a fan here. You got to remember that we're like I'm in like radio silence too with a lot of stuff. Here's the thing. If there was an opportunity to have a parade and fireworks, it might be at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party because they can really, really, really limit the crowds. They could modify the parade route. Maybe they run the parade not just on Main Street through Frontierland. Maybe it goes through Fantasyland or it extends through Tomorrowland, and they give more spaces where people can spread out because the parade is a selling point. I've already got a couple guests emails say if there's no parade, I'm not going. But which I get totally. Shout out to Beth Frank. Happy birthday, by the way. She's one of the people. But also the fireworks, you could almost make work too, because if you have a very limited hard ticket crowd, you can spread people out more. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying it might.
I agree. I think that there are some opportunities to do some different kinds of things at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party and at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party. And I think that's the thing. I think we all have to be a little flexible in this space. Like, I think you all, as we do, trust Disney, right? I really do. I trust Disney to make a great experience for me, to work their hardest to give me a magical vacation. Now, I can't let that sort of idea be confined to what I know something as, right? Like, for me, I know the Halloween party to be parades and fireworks and blah, blah, blah. But
and candy.
And candy, right. But Disney
Real.
has an opportunity to bring the magic in a different way. And I think we have to be kind of flexible on that space, right? We have to let them sort of be Disney. They're innovative. They find awesome ways to bring magic to everything. So I trust that they have people who are really thinking about this stuff right now.
And you're right. Disney's Disney. And like, even we saw last weekend, enforcing social distancing, they had stormtroopers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could call down like, oh, you're too close together there. We're going to call the Empire. You're going to get zapped by fiery fingers if you don't spread out. You know, I mean, like, that's fun. What they're telling you is back up, people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
Part of the Disney magic. So I'm going to just trust Disney, and I'm not going to expect that things are exactly the same as they used to be. But I'm going to trust that they're going to make it a really magical experience.
All right, Eli's got a question. He's asking best place to stay on property for Princess Weekend. I love Pop Century. I do. I like Pop Century. Caribbean Beach would be another great place to stay. The Riviera. You can tell what I have in common with all these. It's a Skyliner. I like the Skyliner. Now, it depends, because like when I think race weekend personally, again, this is just me, it's usually been solo over the past couple of years. I don't make the girls go down because it's a crazy weekend. And they're in school and they have other obligations with cheer and stuff. So I go by myself and I save value. I save a little money. And so Pop Century works out great for me. Love the rooms, good food court for what I need, get around with the Skyliner. Other than that, I mean, you can say anywhere you want because you got the bus service from every resort, but I do love some Pop for a race weekend. Anything for that one, Pam?
I think that the monorail becomes even more important on a race weekend. I have to say its value increases on a race weekend because some of the buses are all, the bus lines are all kind of messed up because of that. And I just think, like you, Mike, just like the Skyliner, the monorail sort of gets you in and out of places that aren't quite as accessible by other things. So
Jennifer, my friend down the street in O'Fallon, Missouri, says, aside from mobile order, how do you think they will handle the food court and seating at the values? They're usually crowded in normal times. That's a good question, because values obviously have a lot of rooms. They have a lot of people. I mean, I
agree.
They do. They get people through. So I mean, I don't know, man, because when I picture Pop Century's food court, I love Pop Century's food court, but man, there's you can't really do I guess you're gonna have lots of room to do the hustle. That's the optimistic side of things.
I think that we'll see probably them filling less rooms at some of those larger resorts. And I think also when you do mobile ordering, I think that there will be a time, and I think that they'll want guests to be within, to be picking stuff up at that time, not coming 25 minutes and hanging out. They're going to want to see, okay, here's my mobile order, here's where it is, and that before they let you in, probably. But
we've seen that change on My Disney Experience, where, for example, at the Disney Springs restaurants, like a deluxe burger, if you order your food, it says what time you can pick it up, and gives you like a half-hour window, like between 6:30 and 7. And that's smart, because I mean, that way it's kind of a two-way transaction. Your food's going to be ready. Yes. You're going to be able to get in, get out, get your food. And also it's great for deluxe or whatever the restaurant is. It's good for them because it's efficiency. And I think that's kind of the word. I mean, safety is the number one word Disney's looking for in this, but efficiency has to be high on their list, because they need to have systems in place to get people through the experiences that they expect, but without interfering with you can't have the haphazardness that we've always had in the past.
No, I agree. And they're just, again, that's going to require a little patience on everyone's part. But it's just honestly, here at some of our local restaurants, there's a lot of people, or a lot of restaurants here, where you get a text message that says your order is going to be done at this time. Text us when you get here, don't come in. And then you text them and they either say, I need 10 more minutes, or I'm bringing the order out to your car now, or whatnot. But it's a way to sort of restrict that. And maybe that we'll see tables outside in other parts of the resort too. I think there's possibilities there.
Yeah, they're doing that here. Crazy. They passed a law that said restaurants downtown can put tables on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
So people have they've got the street to kind of walk around them, but they're just trying to make. That's what I like seeing, because that's creative, outside the box thinking. Like that would not have
For
happened
sure.
last year, but it's a way to help keep these restaurants in business.
Yep, for sure.
So that's good. All right, next question is from Samantha. I'm registered for the Wine and Dine for my first Run Disney weekend. Are y'all optimistic that it'll actually happen? I'm encouraged a lot by the opening info, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are. I thought about this one this afternoon when I was walking with my wife. Here's my thoughts. And you guys gotta remember, I'm a runner and I do dopey, right? I think this is what I told and I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to crush any dreams or give any false hope. I don't even know if I should say this. Okay. I said this to my wife, and I truly believe this. I think we'll know when we're back, when Disney can run Disney events. And here's why. Run Disney events are, just by their nature, you're up close to people. It's really hard to do social distancing in a race on the scale of a Run Disney event. And remember, they got to have them at scale, some kind of scale, to make money. It's a business. They're not going to run it for 30 people and have all the logistics of a race. So they have to come up with a system to make it safe, where everybody's not on top of each other. But I mean, think about the races. Like, you're always on top of each other. You're also sweating. You're coughing. I mean, you're not trying to cough, but you're running. I mean, it's like, it's a demanding thing. You're breathing hard. People yak at the races. I hate to tell you, I mean, I know it's your first Run Disney event and they are magical, but I mean, every once in a while, magic escapes. It's just like, this is the nature of a race. So do I think the Wine and Dine half marathon will happen? We had the Boston Marathon canceled for September, went virtual this past week. Chicago Marathon is still on. That's October 11th. I'm registered for that one. I'm not thinking that's going to happen. I'm being honest. I mean, I'm training every day like it will. I always train like it'll happen until like it's how it was with baseball. Man, I had my uniform on. I was ready to go until they called on the phone saying the game was rained out. So I'm ready to go. Honestly, I would say it's 50-50 right now for Wine and Dine. That'd be my odds if you asked me. 50-50. So I don't know, Pam, what do you think? Because I think that's one of the last things that'll get us back to normalcy, is a Run Disney race.
It is hard. I mean, there's so many lines involved in that. Just picking up your registration, buying your merchandise. I mean, that part is that's a lot, right? So, but that, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it. And I think the other thing that will really impact that is, how quickly are we seeing that we're able to move about the country, right? And not see the spread of this. I think that will be something that is impacted by that too.
Yeah. And I'm not saying anything that's revolutionary, but my total heartbeat on this is like, I know we're going to be back when people are comfortable with flying, because flying is the first step. I mean, we're talking Disney, but when folks are just fine to walk down to their, drive down to their airport, hop on Southwest jet, get down to Florida, everybody gets home and has a good time, and they get home and they're fine. That's when I think everything's going to, because I know, and Pam, we've had this, I mean, everybody's had this discussion probably at your kitchen tables. The demand for travel is probably higher than it's ever been. We've been just cooped up for so long. Everybody wants to go. We just have to get through that hump of, the initial wave, the folks that are honestly, a lot of it's us, we're going to be the ones that are getting out there traveling first, because you're listening to a travel podcast right now at a destination we love. We have memories. Some of us are owners, DVC members. I mean, you own part of the company. A lot of us annual pass holders. A lot of us just go down, watch the movies. We're going to be some of the first to travel. And when people see that we go down, we have a good time. It's a different experience, but still fun in a different way. I think that's when everything starts opening up. And then once we get through the first trip, then get to the second trip, things start to look more normal, and we get through this whole situation.
Yep.
But yeah, flying step one to me. So
I agree. I mean, I get on a plane this summer, so I'm looking forward to it, just because I want to experience it, so I can relay that to our team, who can relay it to our guests, who can better prepare for that. But I also want to feel like I'm living my life again. And I won't say that I haven't gained some things from this, because I have, and it's probably a greater appreciation for some things that deserved more appreciation in the past. I am grateful for that opportunity in that space. But I think one thing that became really clear for me was that I knew that I didn't want to live the rest of my life.
In a box.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
As much as I was afraid of possibly getting this when this all first came out, I was that much more sure that I had places to go and things to do, and I wasn't doing it. That I felt like I wasn't really living my best life. And I think that that's one thing that I really made a point to be like committed to, that I am not going to take for granted a day. I am really truly not. That I just, this isn't what my life is meant to be, is to being at home. I'm sorry, it's just not. That's just not what I see for my life. I loved having to spend the time with Steve and Han, and that, we all spent that time here. I can't say that every day. I can't say that there weren't days where I was like, you two, like, this is my domain. Like, I work from home.
I love working from home, but dude, I'm not used to having an audience.
Exactly. Like, you're encroaching on my workspace. And, like, get HR on the phone because I got some complaints. No, but I mean, I just, travel is part of my soul. It's part of my being. And until I get to do that again and continue to go places again, I won't feel like I'm really living my life. So that's just me, though. I know everyone has different, I'm not saying everyone should feel this way, but I'm just, that's where I'm at right now.
Yep. I kicked myself for all that time I gave up not flying, like, cause again, it was a fear. Like it was an unfounded fear,
Yes.
like right now I don't know. Like I want to be up in a plane just to look down at the earth. I love flying. Like I would fly just to fly for flying's sake right now because I love it that much. It's so weird to say that because I was definitely scared, but I wasn't living life, and you guys kept telling me that, like, you're fine. Just get out there and do it. Anyway,
you can't live your life from a place of fear.
And I drove, but I was miserable. So what can you do? All right. Robert's got a question. Going to Pop Century for Marathon Weekend. Me too. How does it look for ADRs, meal plans, etc.? Well, I can tell you one thing, meal plans. Doesn't look good for that one. No, you probably won't have a meal plan, but guess what? You're still going to be able to eat. There's still going to be food, even though there might not be a Disney dining plan. So Pam, word is September 2021 and before, all Disney dining plans have been deleted.
They have been deleted, but that doesn't mean that they won't come back.
Exactly. We had this discussion with Ricky. Like, you can go that way, but you really can't go the opposite. So yeah, you can always bring things back.
Yeah, it really truly is. And what they really needed at this point was to, first of all, get a good sense of who's actually coming when they open up, right? Because there are some folks out there that have reservations that we know and they know aren't going to come, but they've kept the reservations on the books. And I think that's where Disney needs to be like, okay, we need to figure out who's actually coming. We need to figure out who's actually coming into the parks. We need to figure out who's just coming to the resorts. Yes. And there's going to be people there. By the way, that's a little Pittsburgh thing that I hate that I do. I need to take a speech class on that. I say gonna.
We say Missouri all the time. That sounds normal to me. I'm like, what?
I know, but I should be saying going to. There are going to be people who want to just go to the resort, and that's totally fine. But Disney just needs to get a sense of that. Then with all the social distancing requirements, let's face it, I'm guessing that there are going to be changes to the restaurant environment. There have been here in Pittsburgh, right? We can't sit next to each other. So that's why they had to remove the dining plans at this point, that they had to get a sense of that. And then hopefully we'll see some opening up of those things. Then we'll see what happens. But yes, all those things can come back. So just because they're gone for right now doesn't mean they will always be gone. So don't worry about that.
Yep, I agree. They really need, like, they've always had kind of a good idea of what was happening, but they need as exact as they can get it now for just the reasons. Because obviously, if they're going to have less in that, think about it. Every restaurant at Walt Disney World, if they cut the capacity down to like 30%, they need every one of those tables full. Yes. I mean, they're not there as a charity. We got to keep remembering that we love Disney, but they're not going to they want to maximize profits as well. I mean, it's just what every business does. If they're going to
Look
go
at how much money they were losing every day. I just, look, small businesses and big businesses alike have been hit really hard by this. And I know that they want to come back. I know that they're passionate about the guest experience. So there's going to be opportunities for us to eat and drink and,
I guess on Scott, like, the rule was, initially the mask rule was like, you have to wear a mask unless you're eating or drinking. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have a drink in one hand and in the other hand like the entire time. Like,
first of all, I always have this with me in the summer, especially. I think I drink the whole day, not drink. I mean, there's just water in it. I'm not sneaking in vodka.
That's the whole trick. Like, you have the tube up your backpack. Like, I'm drinking.
I know. Here's the thing I'm most scared about. Like, dang, do not take my Disney popcorn away. Like, no. Really and truly. So, anyways, no, I'll be patient. If that can't come back at first,
there's ways around this.
Right, I'll do silent sobbing in the corner. So,
anyway. All right, Malcolm's got a question from the UK. I love Malcolm. Thank you so much for your email today. You really picked me up, buddy. He says, hey, Pam and Mike, hearing breaking news in the UK, the Spaceship Earth update has been stopped indefinitely and will be reopening back on the 15th of July. Has anyone else heard the same?
Malcolm, how are you getting news that we haven't been getting?
I'm serious. How's he getting this news?
I don't know that anyone knows for sure what has happened with Spaceship Earth. It was supposed to go down for an extensive rehab. And I don't know that they did started it, right? Because there were restrictions on construction, but then you saw some projects getting done. So I have no idea where they are in there. I have heard that rumor out there too, but I don't know if it's true or not.
I thought that I saw somewhere that like on the app that it said closed for refurbishment, which means
that was still up initially.
Not on there. Yeah. I mean, that means it's on still, but and I don't even know how I feel like, cause it could be better, I was freaked out when they refurbed the Haunted Mansion. I was freaked out when they kind of messed with pirates, but coming out of that, it was better both times.
There's been a few things that they've rehabbed that at the end of it, I was like, yeah, way better. Now, there's been a few that I was like, yeah, way worse.
That's true. But the way I'm looking at like something like that is a bigger fish to fry right now.
Yeah, right. Maybe a big crane fell onto the Imagination Pavilion and they'll have to redo the whole thing. Dude. Oh my.
Yeah, they could do a lot of stuff with that.
Maybe Figment got COVID or something. I don't know. Was that wrong?
I was not going there, but you just did. So.
Dear Lord, I apologize.
Quarantine zone. Sorry for all the DVC owners. You just lost your lounge too. So.
I am a DVC owner. I would give up that lounge in a heartbeat if they could sort of wipe the slate of Imagination and start over.
Yes, I do like that lounge. I'm not DVC, but the best thing, if you're not DVC, the second best thing is have friends that are. All right, Alfred's got a question. Do you have any knowledge of the 50th anniversary plans? This is one, not a clue. I mean, I'd imagine it's going to be delayed because of all this, but who knows?
I would think so too. I think that they're going to have other things that they need to concentrate on, right? Mm-hmm. I am not jealous of the opening team and everyone involved with trying to get all these moving parts going in the same direction. And then to think about this, right? You have the marketing people, you have the finance people.
Marketing people. Can you imagine marketing people? Like, yes. I mean, Disney's so good at marketing. They are
right.
That commercial with that daughter that's like, she's getting ready to go off to college and the dad's like, I'm thinking about it right now, getting goosebumps. Like, they're so good at it. Like, I'm just like, okay, just let me book a trip right now because Mallory's 12 and she's going to be going to college tomorrow. So, I mean, they're so good at what they do, but can you imagine right now? They're like, Okay,
No.
we don't have fireworks. No parades. Nope. Go down the list.
Can
Like,
we
okay.
pull out an old commercial? Nope, because we're not doing any of that stuff anymore. All right, in our commercials, do we mention the coronavirus or not mention the coronavirus?
You get like some stock footage, like this little girl kissing Mickey on the nose. No, we got a death wish. What are you doing? Oh my God.
I know. I feel bad, really and truly, but maybe they'll have some magical commercial on there.
They're earning their keep this time. I'm telling you, man.
For sure, right? It's probably a cushy job most times, but now.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, they're good at what they do under normal circumstances, man. If they make me cry coming out of it, which they could, because they could think about it. They could talk about, you've needed these moments. We're doing their job for them. Here it is. You've been cooped up. You've been with your.
Do you have some in the background going? Not. No.
Yeah,
no.
All right, let's get to one more question.
No sneezing in the background, please.
No, absolutely not. Don't have large crowds, which I mean, dude, every picture of wishes or having some masses, like all of Central Florida in front of the castle, which
they'll
should
have to. Right.
I love it.
They'll have to feature families in the resort room.
Yes. Unmasked.
Aren't you sick of your own house, for Lord's sake?
Yes. Staring at these four walls. Come see our four walls. We have. Come and stay in an Art of Animation family suite themed to cars. Right. Come stay where you have pit stop right outside your bed.
There you go.
Corrugated steel to look at and touch. You probably won't touch it, but yeah. Anyway, all right, one more question. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hold over the questions. Ricky's going to join us on Friday. We'll continue because you guys have lots of great questions, and it's just good to laugh. It's good to laugh with our family, and that's what we're doing here. So let's get to it. Ashley says, my August wedding was canceled due to the virus, and she has a little cracked heart there. I feel that's terrible.
For sure.
All vacations, but I mean, I know so many people have lost landmark things, graduations, proms, weddings. It's just no fun. My fiance and I live in Orlando, so I wanted to make a special dining reservation. I was thinking California Grill, but want to try somewhere I haven't been. Any suggestions for something unique off the beaten path? This, of course, is assuming the restaurants are open like normal, but let's pretend like they will be. Yes, let's do pretend.
Let's pretend.
All right, so I'm gonna look. I'm picturing what Pam's going to say. She would have said California Grill. She would, but that's already been thrown out. I have two suggestions. I'm going to say two. These are the two I have better in your head right now. You got to be honest.
Okay.
Chico.
Yeah.
Flying fish.
Those are both great suggestions. We don't know if the ADR system is going to be up and running and what's that going to look like, but those are both great suggestions. I mean, Jico really has some unique offerings. Check out the menus, and maybe wait until they reopen to really check them out. But look and see if there's something there that's appealing to you. It's not food that's not familiar to all of us. I think that's a case with, there's a few things that are really sort of unique to Jico, but it has some different takes on some things maybe that we're more comfortable with. Flying Fish has fantastic seafood options if you like that, but they have one of the best steaks on Disney property too. So you can feel safe going there if you like either one of those. And I'm going to suggest one more. And it's one that you can make a reservation at right now. And that is at Kappa at the Four Seasons. Now,
Cabana, the Barry Manilow sings about
Cabana, right?
Yeah, no,
But Kappa is available because it's not on the Disney reservation system. You can make it, I believe, through Open Table, and you can call the restaurant. Exactly, you can call the restaurant, and then they'll be able to help you.
Exactly, and directly.
Directly. How did I turn directly into exactly?
You're gonna say.
I know, because I've been stuck in these four walls for too long. Get the Disney crew here right now.
It's been so fun today. And by the way, Amanda said her hubs got an email today saying the Spaceship Earth would reopen with Epcot. The project
from whom, though, Amanda? That's what we need to know. I don't think that Disney sent that out, but there's a lot of fan sites that are sending out stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, if it's hey, here's the insider info. That's good though. Hey, I'm not saying it's true. I mean, I trust Amanda though. I'm not saying Amanda's making this
Oh
up.
no, I'm not either.
I'm saying probably right. Yeah, I want to get on that. Just Amanda, get me on that email list. Mike at brguestpodcast.com.
Right.
All right. So we are going to hold the rest of these questions. We're going to keep rolling. So if you're in the live chat, hang with us. Ricky's dying to jump in here. She's texted me 17 times. I'm like, chill out. You're going to be on Friday's show. You're going to be fine. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the great questions. We'll continue those on Friday. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic for Less. The parks are opening back up mid-July. We're going to have theme parks back open. The resort's going to open up. We're going to get you down there. You're going to have great memories. And this is going to be one for the books. You'll be like, because even if say Disney lifts the mask thing, you got to take a mask and get a picture on your next trip because you got to mark the times, and you'll be able to tell your grandkids and your kids about these amazing times and how this was such a different trip. Like I always talk about the hurricane trip.
I know.
The parks were closed for like 36 hours. They could have been a negative. No, I talk about how I survived a hurricane. Like people in Missouri don't do that. I was at Disney. So anyway, we're going to make the best, but we for sure appreciate your support when you go on that next vacation. Whether it's Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, drop by the Magic for Less. Check out all the great trip planning tools to get those wheels churning, to see all the pictures and all the detail. I would say all the dining plan details. Got to change it. I got to rethink. I got to fix my brain. But you can look at. They still have restaurants. They have food. You can see where you're going to eat, even though you can't buy a dining plan. Anyway, you need a travel agent now more than ever. We're going to take care of you from the get-go. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That really helps support the show. And the new way to support the show is on Patreon, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Thank you so much to all of our brand new patrons. We're going to recognize you here on an upcoming show very, very soon. Give us a follow on social media, Instagram and Twitter at beourguestmike and at beourguestpod, facebook.com/beourguestpodcast. All right. We are going to get out of here, and we'll be back again on Friday with more of your current listener questions. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All right, let me save that one. Too many laughs. That was good. That was 1685. And we did not mess up, so I don't have to edit that one too much. I can't wear this shirt anymore. Seriously, I am so hungry looking at myself. And that sounds like, if you take that out of context, it is so weird. But let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so that one's done. Oh, I got to add Ricky. She'd be mad. How do I add Ricky? She has the link, right? I sent it to her. Come in. Is she not watching? Come on in.
Come on down.
Oh, here comes Super Riley. She was gone for the weekend. She just got back. Hi, Riley. Because Paige went back to Mizzou because her apartment pool was open in Columbia. So she stayed at the pool all weekend.
Oh my gosh, too funny.
I know. But Super Dog's back. Hi, Riley. You're so soft. You miss me. I know. You want to be on the show, right? You're sitting right by the mixer. Yep. You going to run the board for us? Love you. We've already told that when Paige goes back, she cannot take the dog.
I knew that y'all would get attached to the dog.
This dog is my buddy. She loves me. The reason I love her so much is because she loves me more than anybody else in the house.
There's no one more excited to see you when you come home than a dog.
Oh my gosh. And she always goes to me, even over Paige. And it bugs me. She gets so mad. Because she'll be sitting on my lap and Paige will be like, come over here, Riley. And she won't. I'm like, no, Riley, stay here. Thanks, Tony. Oh, guys, you guys are fun. Okay, where's Ricky? Somebody call Ricky. Anybody? Anybody seen Ricky? 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 We're going to just skip her in 5, 4, 3. She knows not to mess with me on Taco Bell night. I start to get hangry. Right now, I'm not hangry yet. I'm still happy, but I'm trending that way. Okay, Ricky. Seriously, did the text not go through? Did you see it? You got it's almost golden. It's golden hour on your chin right now, on your lower lip.
Oh gosh, yeah, I see it. Like the sun is coming in.
Yep, yeah, that little glow right there.
I know. Right. It's like when I'm not sure where it even comes in through. It's so weird. I have 2 big windows here in my office. I saw someone ask if this was a real brick wall behind me. It is not. It is a
real.
It is a screen.
No, it's not.
It's a vinyl backdrop that you can purchase. It actually looks a little crooked sometimes.
It does right now a little bit. Mine always looks crooked. I'm just glad yours does too. No, it's fine. Oh wait, I just had a Ricky. What happened? Oh, there she is.
She's right here. Sorry, guys. Oh, today's been a day.
Yep.
Oh,
I was trying to imply that I was hoping you survived your employment, because whenever you get like a 5 o'clock meeting, it's never good.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an intense meeting. So yeah,
that's good. I'm glad you're here.
I'm okay. I still have a job.
You're not okay, but you're here. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you're
mentally.
normal. You're like you always are.
Yeah, I'm not okay.
I gotta ask you, do you mind finding the cat?
No.
Oh God, I've been praying for her. So
there's somebody who did call her or message her and said that they saw a cat that looked similar to Kitty across the highway, which you have to understand is like a pretty good size highway over there. And she said she'd call my mom if she saw her again. So hopefully Kitty's like living around there and it is her, and that my mom can go pick her up. But that it'll actually be her and they can get her back, because mom's devastated, and rightfully so. I mean, that they did all this work to get Kitty down there, and she leaves literally the first hour. Literally. So yeah.
All right. Well, we gotta get going, because like we got some questions and we're continuing them from the chat.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do questions.
Yeah, because they're going away. So
okay. Sorry, everybody.
No, it's fine. But it's just like we have so many people in the chat that it's like they're scrolling out now.
Awesome. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I was late. I'm sorry. I had a work meeting. Oh, it's been a crazy day.
Don't again. Okay.
Yeah, I won't. I promise.
Just kidding. Okay. So
I know.
87. Here we go. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another Be Our Guest podcast. It's not a community episode.
It's not.
No. That was the wrong intro. Robot Mike just screwed up. Sorry. Nope. It's not that. That's tomorrow. Try again. What do I say? Okay, let's hit
I don't know. What do you say?
I don't know. Let me just hit the button, see what happens. Welcome to episode 1687 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. It's haircut day for Pam, by the way. Oh, not kidding, but we're going to talk about that here in a second, I'm sure. We actually talked about that on Wednesday. I hope you're having a great wrap to your week. It was very productive. And I hope that in your community, things are starting to reopen and you're getting back to some of those normal experiences, getting to see neighbors, getting to go out and do the things that we love. So I hope you are doing well. Things are trending in the right direction for you. So today we're going to continue with the listener questions. We had so many on Wednesday. We had great conversation around those. Ricky is back. She was missing us on Wednesday. We got her back here for Friday. So Ricky's here, of course, from touringplans.com and the Mouse for Less. Happy Friday, Ricky.
Happy Friday. And if y'all could say some good wishes for Daisy, she had her surgery this week.
Dude, is she a girl or a boy?
She's nothing right now. So
a girl or a boy, she just had some stuff taken out.
She
right?
just had some stuff taken out. So yeah.
The word, when people say the word snip, it just makes my eyes walk.
No puppies coming from Miss Daisy. Let's just put it that way. So she's she had surgery this week, but she seems to be I think doing okay. So yeah.
Bob Barker would be proud.
Bob Barker would be exceedingly proud, let's just say. And I mean Drew Carey too, because he took that on now,
Yeah, gotta do it. All right, well, good deal. We'll keep whenever Mallory's been whining over the past month, I just always tell her I'm keeping you in my prayers. So I'll keep you in my prayers.
Thank you. Yes. The dog and your prayers. Thanks.
All right. Also joining us with some it depends when you listen to the show. Probably some sweet looking hair right now. It's all sweet. Probably some freshly done hair. We have Pam Forrester, co-owner of Travel. Happy Friday.
Next week, you'll see when we record the live video what my hair typically looks like. It actually has not been so bad because my hair is so light to begin with that it's just not,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't, it holds up well, I guess I will say, the color wise, but to me it drives me crazy. I mean, it's long. I mean, it like if I let it would really cover my eye. I mean, really and truly, let's be honest.
It's kind of a skater look right there, how you have it,
That's
like
right.
like skaters would do, like over the one eye. So you'd only see the one eye.
Yes, I'm going back to like the 80s. Like
Yeah.
I need like an asymmetrical like cut. To, like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
So I love 80s. That's sweet.
Oh my gosh.
I need to get some neon and then I'll be able to go.
Hey, if you saw, Universal has a great line of clothing that they just released. That's all that old neon color that they used to do.
Crazy.
They have neon fanny packs. I mean, I don't want a fanny pack, but they have neon.
I love that stuff. That stuff is awesome because I'm all about retro. I listen to so many retro podcasts, and that stuff is so weird. I love it.
I want to help some people with the fanny packs. Like, I will not be wearing a fanny pack. I'm just going to tell you that it really doesn't do a lot for me. There are other people who are wearing them, and I understand the convenience, but I just want to be like, no. Let's not do this.
No.
It's just got to rename it. I think it has a new name. I don't think we call them fanny packs. Well, they do, actually. Yeah, Mallory has some. They're big with girls, like preteen girls, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I know.
All the rage. All right, we got to get to the questions because they're scrolling away. They're going away. Okay, so the next question was from, I can't even see because I got to scoop my screen over. Diane. Diane says, does anyone know if the international cast members are returning to work their respective countries in the World Showcase? Ricky, I was waiting for you. What do you got?
All right. So, I mean, this is pure speculation on my part, based off of facts that I kind of know. So when Disney closed the resort back in March, they did get rid of their international cast members. Reopening.
No, rephrase that a little bit. They sent them home so they could make it home.
They did go home. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, and if they didn't let them go, they would never have been able to get home.
That's true. You have a valid point. Yes, Pam.
I thought it was just me hearing it that way too. So.
It was actually very nice of them.
Yes, this is true. They did. Yes, I made it sound way more sinister. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
And we brought in the evil for Friday.
Hey, if somebody's not bringing the evil, I don't know who is. Anyway, yeah, so they sent them home so that they could, be home in their respective countries. And with that being said, of course, we are, the U.S. is still pretty well blocked off from having most people come into our country. I think
actually the international flights are going to be starting soon.
Oh, yay! That's good news. So, with that being said, though, obviously, if those people are in their home countries and there's not international travel right now, they can't come back right now. So they'll be back. It's just for the temporary time being, there will probably not be international cast members in World Showcase. It will probably just be, cast members from the States. So, it's temporary.
Can you imagine somebody from like Sikeston, Missouri working like Japan?
It'll be interesting. But again,
that's just gonna be so weird. It's not gonna be weird for people except like folks like us that have had that authentic experience for so long. Like that's what I love about World Showcase. If I see somebody from, and I'm not making fun of Sikeston or Poplar Bluff, I have family down in both. But if like my cousin who lives in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, had a job in NEF, like England, the UK, like he comes out like, yeah, how you doing there, buddy? This is so weird.
Yes. That would definitely be weird. But yeah, no, they will come back. It's just, again, there's going to be a lot of temporary things that happen until the parks can come back into a regular state. And it'll be a while. It'll be temporary, but that's the biggest thing is it's going to be temporary. This is not going to be forever. So they'll come back. They'll come back. Yeah.
Yes, let's hope. What do you mean? As long as you don't eliminate him, like you said.
Well, as long as you don't, yeah.
Another Rickyism. Pull the Ricky. That's what we say here in the podcast. You want a little background of the show?
No, you've started a new rumor.
I did.
We're going to get an email from some of those clickbait sites tomorrow morning.
Exactly. Yeah.
International cast members were eliminated.
It'll be like a BuzzFeed list with like 20 weird pictures.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if it's not me saying something I shouldn't be, that's it's not a day. Let's just be honest.
The show is 7 minutes long, people, so far. All right. Tish has a question. Hey, Mike, Pam, and Ricky. My mom, husband, and myself have reservations for July 11th. What are the chances?
Right.
And we're worried about getting super hot in the parks in our masks. Any tips for the best places to take a breather and cool down besides the resort pool? obviously the pool's the place to go because the rule is right now 2 and up common areas, you got to have those face masks on, except and I don't even want to get into this because I feel like Disney's trying to bait me with this one. The relaxation zone.
Yes.
If relaxation zones are safe, let's make the whole dang resort a relaxation zone because there's nothing magic about that relaxation zone.
I hope to be relaxing.
I don't know. Pam, give some thoughts. I'm getting myself in trouble on this one. I mean, I'm not being mean to Disney, but it just sounds so bizarre to me.
So I would absolutely schedule more like dining / snack breaks.
Yes.
Because you'll have the opportunity to remove your mask to eat because you can't eat through the mask. So
I did see a guy that invented one, but it was weird.
So that's something I think that you can definitely do. I think, another thing that you may want to look into, and I know that we've purchased some of these on Amazon, so look there first. There are small portable fans that you can have. And I think that may help to just like keep people more calm and things like that. I think once you get used to it, that you have a better experience. I mean, when I first started wearing them, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And then, felt a little better about the whole thing. So those are some ideas.
And another question from Matt and Kristen here. It says, do you think, or do you know if the mask requirements will be loosened for kids with sensory issues, like the accommodations they make for autistic kids in terms of lines, etc.?
No. What I have heard, and this is, I believe it came from an official Disney source in that it was out there, but I think one of our agents have called. So they can't make an exception for the masks because it's not just a Disney issue. It's an everywhere issue. And so those are required in that space. And in the ADA, it actually says that the reasonable accommodations can be made if they don't put other people in danger. And I think the argument can be made, at least by some, that by not having the mask, that you're putting other people in danger. So they are not going to, I don't think, alter those requirements. But one of the things, I've been in a couple of parents groups where they have already started, they have kids that have sensory issues, and they've started practicing wearing the masks. And they're going to try to, sort of shape those behaviors to kind of get them to tolerate those. I realize that that's not something that will work for everybody. And if it's not something that will work for you and your family, then, being at Walt Disney World during this time may be something that is more challenging for you. And I wish there was a better solution, but I think that is it.
Yep. I agree. It's I mean, there's just no great, perfect answer for that one either way. So it stinks. Francesca has a question. Do you think they'll keep all the post-ride gift shops open? Some of these are a bit tight for all the guests to come off a ride and filter out of there or into there. The one I'm thinking of is like post-buzz. Like that one, like you got to squeeze through there. I mean, most of them are. But I mean, again, they want to sell merchandise. Ricky, what are your thoughts on that? I would say maybe less merch, more open, but open.
That's exactly what I was thinking. They will probably, you'll still have to funnel into the merch shops, but I suspect that the shelves won't be as, tightly packed in there. I mean, they can pick up, take a shelf out and remove it so that there's more walking space in between. So yeah, I'm gonna say that you're still gonna have to exit through a gift shop, but in most places, I think like with Winnie the Pooh, they may have an option where you can not, and if they can accommodate it, then I think that they will. But I think for the most part, they're gonna try to, if there's no real good accommodation, then you'll still have to go to the gift shop, but they'll probably remove a shelf or two, or to make things a little more easily feasible for people to walk through.
Yeah, they'll probably take out those things, those like stands that are in the middle, there's ones like you can go all the way around. Yeah. Like they'll probably just have basically like walls of merch.
And a lot of times they have
one divider maybe down the middle.
And a lot of times they have, like stands that are there that are movable, that have ear hats or something on them. Those probably won't be there, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right, Tim's got a question. Pam Forrester, did I see correctly on the calendar that early morning magic is still scheduled?
So Tammy, I saw that as well, and it actually is still on there as of today on some of the on the calendar there on the Disney site. It has select days that have early morning magic listed. I don't think we know for sure whether or not that's going to go on, but I think it's an opportunity for people who are looking for a little extra time in the park. They'll be able to control that fairly easily by selling a limited number of tickets, and it gives people that opportunity to be even less people in the parks that aren't going to be nearly as crowded. So I think the early morning magic may be like really awesome. Like we always heard early morning magic is awesome, but it could be super awesome from this point on. It'll be like your family and like 5 other families.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. That's it. That's what we're capping it to. I mean, because Disney can cap it. I mean, they already did cap it, so they can just cut back on the number that they would allow in. You know, that's a good way to cap that. So
yeah, and I think it gives people, the opportunity, people who want to pay for the opportunity to have more time in the parks, then that's absolutely available to them. So,
all right, next question for Megan. When do you think fireworks will come back? It's the one change I'm having the hardest time imagining Disney vacation without. Did I really get a Disney race if the day doesn't end with fireworks?
It's true. And I think the biggest thing with the fireworks is the fact that so many people want to be in the same space to see them.
Yeah.
Magnet. It's like, woo.
I know it is. And I'm wondering if there are some opportunities for them to maybe create some other viewing spaces and encourage guests to maybe visit some of those spaces in an effort to disperse that. I just don't know. It's hard to imagine it without it, but would I go to be at Disney and not have fireworks? Yeah, in a heartbeat, I would, like without even thinking about it. If they're like, you can go to Disney right now, but you won't have fireworks or parades, I'm like, I'm there. I'm like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm like. I want to go back so bad that I'm willing to forgo that for a while. But I hope, and I bet they are trying to think of ways that they can make this work.
I mean, if you think about it, they have the projection shows. I mean, they could do
that because that would get everybody looking at the cat. You can't do that either.
That's true. That's true. But
I have the answer though. I have the answer.
Okay.
You play the soundtrack throughout the entire park. Think about Happily Ever After. The emotional connection is in the music and the story and the soundtrack. You play it at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I mean, it's not perfect, but it still moves you, and you could be in line for Space Mountain.
And that was kind of the biggest problem with Happily Ever After to begin with. I mean, it is literally everybody wants to cram in front of the castle. With Wishes, I mean, you could see Wishes and enjoy Wishes not being in front of the castle. I mean, there was the ability to do that because you weren't losing something by not seeing the projections. But because they made Happily Ever After so projection heavy, for you to really enjoy the show, it does make it a little more difficult to have the fireworks show happen in that regard. I mean, there's not a lot of play. You can't really enjoy it as much in the back of Fantasyland or in Frontierland or Tomorrowland. I watched Happily Ever After many times at Tomorrowland, but they made you rely so much on being there in front of the castle.
Well, I think it's not relying on it because you can still do that and it's still a fantastic fireworks show.
True.
I think what it is that we know what we're missing.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's true.
I mean, it took as if fireworks behind Cinderella's castle is not enough.
Right.
They project a whole bunch of cool stuff on the castle to make it even better. So it's like that. But I think maybe there are some opportunities. Maybe they remove some of that. Maybe they put projections on something else so that they have more than one thing. At Disneyland, they do projections on Small World in addition to the, the castle. Like there's some cool stuff there, but there's some other opportunities there. So maybe we'll see them do something creative.
They better play those soundtracks. Julie, one of my great guests over at the Magic for Less, she says she's down in Florida. She's a Florida resident. She says, we're headed to Disney Springs this weekend to practice, in quotes, wearing a mask in the heat.
There you go.
She says that and Wine Bar George.
Oh, that'll be fun. And they have, by the way, Julie, they have that the frozen Dole Whip drink.
The Froscato thing.
Yes, which I have had for sure, and it is good, really and truly, it is good. There. Are you ready, Mike? Their charcuterie plate at George is on point.
Yeah.
It truly is. Like, we went there, we were down with my parents, and we went there for lunch, and all we ordered the charcuterie plate.
Yes.
That's what we had for lunch. It was so good. And then I had that, Froscato thing you do with the Dole Whip. Only I got the lime Dole Whip with it, and it was very good. Yeah, because I don't really like things that sweet. It was still a little sweet, but it was good. So
good.
That's what Pam says about me. My Pam. Not usually. Not most of the time, actually. She only says it like on our anniversary.
Yeah, exactly.
She's coming up this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's 10th. Okay. Anyway, next question. Amy says, wait, I missed one here. It was not Amy. I'm trying to go in order. Missy, we have a reservation for July 26th to 31. We have already purchased park tickets. That's literally.
Yeah, you got the golden ticket right there. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Any idea about how ADRs might look in the new system? So I think ADRs are straightforward. Just kind of same thing, 60 days, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the difference is there's not going to be a huge difference, I don't think, in making ADRs. The only difference is you're going to make them 60 days in advance instead of 180 days in advance, which I think is a better idea anyway, but that's just me.
You're just saying that on Wednesday.
I know. It's so much a better idea, but whatever. And then the only issue is they're not going to have as many seats available for guests to book. So that's why they had to cancel all the ADRs to begin with, because they are known for overbooking their restaurants. So that's why they had to wipe the slate clean, so that way they can make enough tables for social distancing at specific times. So you're not gonna have much of an issue. You might have a little bit harder time maybe making those hot ADRs like, Ohana or something like that. But I mean, for the most part, I don't think you are going to notice any real hardship with the ADR system moving forward. So.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like with the ADRs though, I mean, this is going to be true of a lot of things because Disney has been going since 71. Like, there's going to be a land rush that first day. Like, I mean, it's going to be like, okay, reset. I mean, just boom, system's going to be down in 5 seconds. I guarantee.
Exactly.
System going to crash within 10 seconds? Yes. Because everybody in the world can do their dining reservations at the exact same time for 60 days.
Yes.
Oh. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Did I say that out loud? I did. Everybody knows.
Disney systems go down? What?
I hope that they have some kind of system worked out that it will sort of roll in to that.
Instead
and that would help them. That would help them sort of manage that a little better. So we'll see. I think, one of the oddest things I've seen is that people are like, well, what if I don't know if I have a reservation to get into the park, but I have a resort reservation? That's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. You are going to be able to make park reservations, and you will know where you have a reservation into the park and on what days. And that'll happen before you leave home. I don't want people thinking they're going to roll up at Disney and not know like where they're going to go or what they're going to do, or maybe they'll be able to get into a park or maybe they won't. The beauty of this is they're going to use the My Disney Experience system to let you go ahead and make those reservations. So you will know before you get there.
Yes.
Because the last thing Disney wants is people not knowing where. We talked about this on Wednesday. The key word is going to be safety and efficiency.
Yep.
The reason they're making reservations to get into a park, these shorter term ADRs that are more secure, if you are going to probably be there more likely 2 months out than 6 months out. They want to know where you're going to be. They want to have a very good idea. So the last thing they're going to do is turn you loose on property saying, I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm just going to wander around. They don't want, I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, you're going to be fine to once you're in the theme park to take in the atmosphere. I'm not saying you can't do that. But the last thing they want is just people aimlessly wandering and Disney not having an idea of what their goal is. They want to know we're going to have this many people here so we can staff, so we can have social distancing. That's going to be the name of the game here for the next little bit.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. So just, feel safe that if you have now some like we talked about in the last show, some people are going to want to be at the resort and not going to want to go anywhere. This is my new resolution, Ricky. I'm going to stop saying gonna.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I say gonna too. So
I'm going to say going to.
I got it. Well, I'm not going to
Mike,
stop. See, I just did it. I just did it. I'm not going to stop saying gonna. So,
yeah. Mike, you'll have to text me each time I say it or something. I need some kind of negative reinforcement. So anyway.
Smack your hand. Yeah, exactly.
But there are going to be guests who just want to stay at the resort, and that'll be fine too. But if you want to get into a park and you have tickets to get into a park, then you'll know whether you've gotten a reservation before you leave home or not.
Yes, you're gonna when you get on the plane, you're gonna know.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
And then once they get this first group in, ideally it will happen before the 60-day mark that you know that. So
yeah.
I was listening to Jim and Len today on their show for this week, and I busted a gut because just how Len's brain works sometimes. And he was saying something about, DVC, and I've said this for years, like DVC, you're kind of buying in at the highest level, like you're buying a mortgage, you're paying in for years and years to have these vacations. And, some of these people, obviously DVC owners, some of the most loyal Disney fans are out there. And I agree totally. And he's like, Disney's really pushing it here. They're like, put up or shut up, like you're going to be our guinea pigs here for the month of July. See how this all works. Everybody else is kind of, we'll see. We'll go in August. We'll see how the DVC people do. No, it's not like that. But I mean, a lot of us make me a guinea pig. You know what? I don't think it's going to hurt me. And I'm going to get to have I'd like to be there on July 11th just to kind of for the historical value of it. I like to be there. That's why I stayed during the Hurricane Charlie. I'm from Missouri. I was never going to be in a hurricane. I felt like Disney would keep me safe. I didn't think they would put me in harm's way. And probably wasn't a great idea, but I didn't think I'd be in that bad of, danger. And I got to have an experience I'd never have. Now, I'd rather things be back to normal, but I'd also like to be there on July 11th.
I mean, I'm looking at what I'm going to do because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get down there. And yeah.
Yep, there goes Ricky. She is gone. All right, we'll get her back in here. Let's go to the next question for Megan. You probably can't answer, but have you heard that timed entrances may be what is offered when they reopen? So I think what she's asking is possibly like arrival times for the parks. Now, what we do know at this point is that the parks will open in a staggered fashion. And I always compare this to how school districts do it. Here in our school district, what happens is the high schools go first, and then the bus goes and picks up the middle school kids, and then the bus goes and picks up the elementary school kids. Then in the afternoons, they get out. That's how to work at the park opening and closing, because it's more efficient on your transportation system, and most importantly, it's going to keep everybody at those bus stands at each resort spread out a little bit. You're not going to have all four of them jammed to capacity right away, and you're not going to have as many people on the buses. Okay. So that's what I don't know if they're going to go beyond that. Pam, do you think they might do something with the timed entrance?
I don't know. So I was talking about this with my husband, and I said, the beauty of Disney is that the way that things are set up with the different modes of transportation coming into the parks and the trams from the parking lot, they're sort of able to stagger things without having to make timed reservations. So let's take the Magic Kingdom, for instance, because it's actually the easiest one to do this to. So at this point, they have just let out a ton of people from the monorail. So they're coming down, which, by the way, will probably look different too, because they'll probably have to sort of social distance in the monorail too. So there'll be less people coming out. So the monorail files in.
I have the answer to this because I did this with my sixth graders for 2 weeks. Okay. And this is not everybody liked it, but this was Mr. Rahman teaching in the mid 2000s. So my kids were like at this class and they would not walk in a line. And like, I know sixth graders probably shouldn't have to walk in a line, but we were in an elementary school. So we were setting the example for the rest of the school. I told them, if you don't walk in a line, the kindergartners, the second grade, all the younger kids are going to look at you and they're going to look like fools. You got to walk in. I know you're too cool for school.
I love it, Mike. Oh my gosh. I love it.
The best lines you've ever seen, because if you don't do it, society is going to fall apart at Wood Elementary. So they wouldn't do it. I said, that's it. I said, somebody get me that jump rope. And we had this super long jump rope.
Yes.
I tied a knot every like 3 feet. And so when we walked in the line for 2 weeks, every person had to hold on to a knot. So we look like idiots walking around in school. But like, I was making a point, like we are going to, everybody grab a knot. And we walked it. Everybody was like equally spaced, and like it was a train because you had to hold on to the rope. And we walked in great lines the rest of the year. Like, I mean, it was one parent was kind of mad because he was like, this is kind of degrading. I was like, nope, I'm proving a point. It's a tool. It's like a training tool. It's a rope. So what if they hand a rope to everybody when they get off the bottom of feet knots?
Little did you know that you were teaching social distancing before social distancing.
It's true. Well, yeah, it is true. But that's the thing. They're going to be able to stagger it because they're in control of the different forms of transportation. They can be like, you know what? Hold off on releasing the ferry guests right now. We just had a monorail unload. We're going to get them to a certain point. Then we're going to unload the ferry and go from that point. Okay, now we're taking the tram that's going to whatever load from the parking lot, whatever. They have ways of dealing with this. So I can see them figuring out ways to do this. I really can. So we'll just have to see. I have not heard whether they're going to be timed or not. And I think that will depend on so many different things. Yep.
And we can always count on our listeners. Michelle asks, is Space 220 open? No, but guess what? We've sent men to space from the United States before the restaurant even opened.
That's right. We did.
It's right.
Who would have taken that bet?
I definitely wouldn't have. So actually, I might have. Let's be perfectly honest. With how long it's been taking Space 220 to open, I might have guessed that happens.
Elon Musk is such a mess, man. I just don't know what to think. I'm so happy for our space program right now. You do not even know. I've been wearing NASA stuff like crazy. I'm tuned in. We watched the other night. We went out on the deck. Mallory had a friend spend the night, and we went on the deck and watched the space station pass over. And we saw the Dragon capsule trailing right behind it. It was amazing. I love space. Awesome. We're never getting that restaurant.
It's never happening.
Oh, I just want to eat there with my flight suit. Okay. Francesca says, I'm sure Disney's trying to subtly.
I
can't even say it.
Subtly.
I'm going to text you. You pronounced that wrong.
I'm going to text you.
Got it.
I'm trying it again. Dissuade people. Disney's trying to dissuade people from bringing young kids with the age 2+ must wear mask rule. Kiddos are Francesca, I apologize. Kudos to anyone who can get a 2-year-old to keep a mask on. The point is, I agree with her. That I understand the logic and I understand the legality of everybody has to wear a mask, but in practicality, how are you going to keep a mask on a 2-year-old? A 2-year-old crazy.
That's
you would have to do lots of practicing. Mm-hmm. Truly.
Yep.
You do teach them how to wear clothes.
Well, some kids wear clothes, Pam. Let's be honest, some do not.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think they'd have to. I think it would not be something I'd roll up and expect my 2-year-old to do. I would be doing a lot of practicing at home.
Mm-hmm.
If a kid wears a mask at 2 years old, I would be shocked. I'm asking, are 2-year-olds potty trained? Is that like the age? Is it younger than that?
Yes. It's oftentimes before 2.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Where were you during this? Yeah.
Podcasting.
That's exactly when we started. We started the podcast right about that time.
Yeah.
She was a few months old at that point.
Yeah. Kids can be potty trained before 2 for sure.
Okay, good.
And it's Disney, so they have to go based off of the legal, the requirements from the CDC, which that's what the CDC requires, and so they have to, they have to cover themselves with, making sure everything's legally the way it should be. So that's why it's the 2-year-olds, so.
All right, we kind of talked about this on Wednesday. Michelle said, do we know what these designated no mask zones are like? Sorry if I missed this in the convo earlier. We have just been given information so far, if I'm not wrong. And this, again, we're recording this a couple days before the publishing date.
Yeah.
But they haven't given specific details other than that they are going to have these relief areas where you can, and I think the press release said briefly have a break from your mask and then kind of move along. But we have locations, how many, what it's going to look like, mechanics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree.
All right, Alfred, my buddy up in New York. Do you think they will have fireworks on New Year's Eve? Because we talked about this on Wednesday. It was our first question about New Year's Eve at Epcot. If there's a park, they have the space. Now, New Year's Eve is a whole different beast. Of course.
Yeah, it's way far away.
And it's so crowded usually. So
well, yeah, but they could limit the capacity, which would stink.
Well, yeah.
Without the energy. They would probably want to, because what's New Year's Eve without fire? But maybe the whole globe doesn't have fireworks this year.
Who knows if we're gonna have them for 4th of July?
Or maybe they've determined by that point that we're okay to not be socially distant and or wear a mask. So.
This is true. We just don't know time. Look at how much we've learned in just these past couple of months about coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only been a couple of months, look at how far we've come so far. That's 6 months away at this point. Imagine where we'll be 6 months from now, what we'll know, what will happen. It's so tricky to pinpoint at this point, whether or not there will be fireworks on New Year's Eve. We can't. Just can't.
There we go with the parents and the gardeners. They're the guinea pigs, and they're glad to be. I love you guys. So I just,
awesome.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I'm jelly, so whatever. I can't talk right now. No, you guys have fun. Jennifer says, I want the Dole Whip nachos. Tell me about that. Did I see or something?
Yeah. So
yes.
are they at the marketplace? The shop in Disney Springs, Pam?
By the way,
I think so. Yes.
That's a declarative sentence, but go ahead.
Okay, good. They are. So it's Dole Whip, and then it sits on a bed of nachos, which the nachos are waffle, cone. So they're broken up waffle cone. So, and then there's drizzle of topping stuff on top of that. So yeah, that's Dole Whip nachos.
Oh, sounds so good. All right, Charlotte's got a question, which I've gotten this one from my guest, and I don't have an answer. But again, by the time this publishes on Friday, we could have an answer for this one because it's pretty common. Do you know if they're going to do anything for guests that have a resort room booked, but half the party doesn't have tickets yet? So I've had some of my guests at the Magic for Less that are in this predicament where mom and dad have annual passes because they go down and run all the races, so they go 4 or 5 times a year. The kids don't go, but the kids, they're just going to pick up some tickets for them.
Right.
That's just how it was going to work, or they were going to, buy annual passes again or something.
So
I think once that they see, so right now there's a pause on selling all new resort reservations and tickets, but as soon as they get a better idea of how many people are actually coming, and I think it will probably be dependent on the dates that you're looking for, then they will open up ticket sales and they will open up reservation sales again.
Yes.
So we're really just at a wait and see point for that. I don't know that they'll make an exception for anything. We'll have to see how they move forward with that.
And according to kind of what I've seen from Carly Wiesel, who is someone who's in the media, she's been kind of trying to ask Disney these questions. And according to her and what I've seen her ask Disney is, as of right now, if you don't have tickets, you won't be able to be in that first wave of the reservation system. So if half the party has tickets and half of them don't, unfortunately, you would be able to make reservations for the half that do, but you're not going to be able to make reservations for the half that don't. So you're probably, unfortunately, going to have to wait until Disney opens up ticket sales again before you're able to make those reservations for your entire party, which I know stinks. But Disney is really trying to accommodate everyone who currently has tickets because that, they've already bought the tickets. So they're really trying to accommodate that first. Once they figure out who's going to be in what parks when, then they can roll out adding additional people until the park is at capacity for whatever capacity that they're going to have for the park at, each specific day to limit social distancing. So, yeah.
And this is what I want people to keep in mind. Remember, Disney, always remember this, Disney's a business and they want to let you book hotel rooms. They want to let you buy tickets. They want you to buy tickets. That's what businesses do. They want to make that transaction. So they're going to do this as soon as humanly possible. But what it does with pausing the ticket sales right now and accommodating folks that have existing tickets is they have a number in mind right now.
Yes.
We know how many annual pass holders they have. They don't know how many are going to come down.
Right.
You know how many tickets are outstanding where keep selling them. It's just a moving. It's more, again, they're trying to get as efficient and as exact into what they're expecting as they can. And if you're still selling things, it more variables get put out there, and they want less variables, right?
Correct. Yes.
What I would guess. Okay, last question of the day. Jennifer asked, do you think they may still cancel resort reservations even after July 15th? I know they have the right to do so, but I hope they don't. I have a thought on this one real quick. Right, they could. I don't think they will, because here's what I think. And I've said this over the past couple of weeks on the check-in shows, and I applaud Disney for this. They're going a very conservative baby step, one thing at a time process here. They're being very conservative in my opinions, which makes me feel good about my safety when I get down there, because in a way they're not letting the dollar win out. Now Universal's opening right away. They're going to open here in the next few days, and that's fine. And I wish them all the success. I kind of joke about Universal, but I had a good time when I was over there. They have great fun hotels, fun parks. I love Volcano Bay. I hope they have success, because I want everybody to have success. But Disney is just on a different level where they have to think about things with transportation on different scales, and all these things. So I'm glad they're being conservative. And I think because of that, I don't think we'll see things beyond July 15th. But the thing is, I think we could see things move. Now, I'm not trying to get everybody's hopes up, but they could always open things earlier and make things,
right,
if things start to trend in the right direction. I don't know, Pam, maybe I'm talking out, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think they're being ultra conservative where they won't have to do it beyond the 15th of July.
I agree. I think that's where we're at too. That I don't think that they're going to be canceling any more packager room reservations after they decide to open up. Now, what that will look like, or, the resorts that are available, I don't know. And I don't know that Disney knows yet, especially not until we get a good count. They have, said that they're going to have certain resorts open, but that doesn't mean that they aren't going to have other resorts open too. So I think we're just going to have to wait and see where that all shakes out.
And I do wonder, obviously we don't know, but I do wonder if maybe they will try to combine combine resorts. Like, they may close a resort for the temporary time being and move people over to a different resort. Look at what they did, but with 9/11, they closed. They closed that Riverside. So, that people couldn't stay there. And so I'm sure they shifted those reservations. So I think the same thing might happen in this instance. Also, you do have the rumor about the NBA maybe coming. And of course, if that's the case, they will probably put them up in one hotel, and that hotel will probably be blocked off from anybody else from visiting. So, they'll have to move guests from that hotel as well, because obviously they don't want people stalking NBA players, which could potentially happen. So, I think that that's something that they're trying to juggle as well. They're trying to figure out all the puzzle pieces of what's going to be open, what resorts are going to have people stay at, and then they'll get the rest of the puzzle pieces from there too. So I think that they're working on shifting all that.
All right. Jennifer says she'll gladly, I think she's at Pop Century. She'll gladly move down.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Hey, book of value. You got nowhere to go but up. That's why one of the secrets of cruising, and I tell this to a lot of my guests, is if you ever get a chance to book guarantee status, because you don't know what stateroom you're going to have initially, shoot, I'll book a guarantee status and just roll my dice, because a lot of times you're guaranteed to get at least what you're booking. You might get something better. I've got an upgrade before.
It didn't work out for me. I had the same type of room, but I
got what you paid for.
I got what I paid for. Yeah, but I took the gamble. I was like, let's go. Let's see what. Let's press my luck.
We're just talking on the Wednesday show about how the casinos in Missouri opened on Monday and how I hate gambling, but I'll do that. That's my kind of gambling right there.
I like it.
You can't lose. Really, you can't lose. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate it so much when you get to share some laughs with us and we get to talk Disney. This is truly what this is all about. And it's been such a great journey over the past 12 plus years. And just thanks for always taking the time to take us with you on your commutes, on your runs, on your walks of the dog, doing the dishes, all the boring stuff. We sure appreciate you being there. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. It's time to get that next trip on the books. It makes you feel better. Knowing that you're going to go on a cruise someday here before the end of 2021, or you're going to go to you're going to go to Walt Disney World. Now I'm self-conscious in the next, little bit. You just want to have something on the calendar, and the trips might be different, but that doesn't mean they won't be just as much fun. So drop by the magicforless.com, get those wheels turning. Look at all the photos, look at all the reviews, and decide where you want to stay and what parks you want to go to and all that stuff. And while you're there, fill out that free no obligation quote form, and an agent will get back to you right away. But please be patient with the agents right now, because this week has been a little different for us. Systems are down, but I promise you, we'll get you squared away as soon as possible because we love your support. We're going to take care of you. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please continue to use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That helps the show so much every time you do that shopping. My wife doesn't. School's been out just for like a week, and she's shopping on Amazon. I'm like, use the link, man. Come on, no. So make your significant other use it too. I don't know if she does or not. I gotta ask. Does she use the link? Because Mallory has got these like little $16 LED lights for her room that are really cool, but they're like around her, and she got them on Amazon. She better have used the link. So please use it. And I can't probably get my family to, but please use them.
Please do.
I appreciate it so much. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Don't forget, we also started the Patreon this past week. We appreciate that so much. It's patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Thanks to everybody who has already joined and helped support the show. I cannot thank you enough for that support. That's going to help us get through this little downtime with nobody traveling. It's a little rough in the travel industry, but we'll get there, and I appreciate your support so very much. All right, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at beourguestmike and at beourguestpod, and facebook.com/beourguestpodcast. All right, time to get out of here. Have a great Friday, everybody. Get out there and have some fun, but do stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Here comes Riley the Wonder Dog.
I lost Daisy. She was with me. Daisy learned how to use the stairs this weekend, which is not great.
Dogs didn't know how to use stairs.
Well, she's tiny, so like the first time she tried to use the stairs, she fell down them. So she was a little nervous to use the stairs, and now she's like whipping up them, going back down them like crazy dog. So yeah. Whoops.
Awesome sauce.
We figured this out.
All right, thanks everybody for being here. You guys are awesome. Guys, seriously, everybody who joined the Patreon, thank you, because we just got to get through this a little bit. All the stuff came due for the podcast today, so I started freaking out. So I appreciate you guys' support. So thank you, and we'll be back tomorrow night with a live call-in show. And tomorrow on the feed we have Ricky's. I think it's Ricky's. When did we talk? Sunday? No, we talked
Saturday.
Saturday. So talk with Mike Sunday. Ricky's show will either be tomorrow on the feed or Thursday, because we have a trip report on. No, we have questions on Wednesday. Anyway, stuff's coming out 6 days a week. We'll have to go.
You got a show somewhere.
All right, we'll see you guys all later, guys. Thanks. I'll see you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.